he wasn't going to direct me anymore because I wasn't following directions. So anyway, I got to wing this. I'm my own producer. Welcome back to Abby's Kitchen. She has got her doctorate. She has way too much free time. She is back cooking. So thank you to everybody who reached out to ask me when I was going to cook. I really appreciate the support because I love to cook. So if this is your first time watching, here's the premise of the show. I like to cook my way. You don't want any? Don't have any. I'm not a gourmet cook. I just like to cook. Some recipes I don't make from scratch. Some have been passed down. Some recipes I've just seen, I've tried. And so shout out to all the cooks who have made this possible. And so with that being said, tonight we are making, you know she loves her cast iron skillet. So we're going to do a pork chop and red potato type, I hate the word casserole, but it's like a potato and pork chop bake. And we're going to do it in the cast iron skillet. And so in the interest of time, a couple of things have happened. First of all, I put a little olive oil, and you can use vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever you like to fry brown things with, right? So I put a little bit in this cast iron skillet. It's still hot, so I'm going to not pick it up with my bare hands. And so I fried the pork chop. I poured the grease off, and so I have like some drippings in the pan, like just where the pork chop kind of stuck to the bottom. So you want that. And so what I'm going to do is, this is the end result. Look at them whoppers, y'all. They're not cooked all the way through. I browned them on each side, and then I like stirred the pork chop up to like brown it around the edges. Some people call it searing, but it makes all the difference. And so do that, but it's not cooked all the way through because it's going to actually slow cook in the oven, probably a little over an hour. And so this dish is not one that that's quick to put together. Now I'm going to make the cream of mushroom gravy that goes with it. And so I used cream of mushroom with roasted garlic. But if you don't like that, you could just use regular cream of mushroom. I like that little hint of garlic. And so I'm actually going to take, in this same can, I'm going to take a half a cup of milk. And then I'm going to use a half a cup of heavy cream. Now, when I mix this gravy together, if it's like thick and goopy, I'm going to use just a little bit of chicken stock. I'm going to use a little chicken stock to thin it out. But right now, we're just going to go with the heavy cream and the milk and then see what we get. So, you know how you stir stuff around in the can because you're just trying to get out every little bit? So that's what I'm doing right here. So I'm just going to stir it up and then mix it. And so I use 1 can of soup, which should give me plenty of gravy. Now, my recipe might be for bigger servings because it's just me. And then, of course, the cameraman eats when he's here. And so before, I was making all this food, and then I had all these leftovers. Plus, I've lost some weight, so I'm going to try not to gain it back by doing this show. But if I got to gain a little weight to make y'all happy, then let's get it. All right, so now the cream of mushroom with garlic already is pretty salted. I'm going to add some pepper. Y'all ain't seen these in a while, right? These Tupperware. My sister put these on a yard sale. I thought she was going to sell these. I don't even make Tupperware like this no more. So I'm going to add like a little bit of pepper. And just a little bit of salt. Tiny, tiny bit. If you're watching your salt, don't put any in there. Put a little bit more. All right. And I'm going to whisk it together and get this out of the way. Over here to my left, can't see it. The hot dishwater, the steam is coming off the dishwater because we can't do nothing without that hot dishwater. Lord, that's good. And it ain't even cooked. All right. So you see how creamy that is? It's so nice and creamy. The consistency is thick enough. And let me tell you why I put it in the skillet. You know, anything in the skillet gonna have them crispy, bubbly edges. And so I have cut up, they're brown because I cut them up earlier, but they're good. These are red potatoes. I slice it with a mandolin, right here. Because you want everything to be the same size so that it cooks evenly, right? So that's why I pounded my pork chops so that it would be the same size, cook evenly. And so I'm gonna take my little brown potatoes and I'm just going to kind of spread them in the bottom of this pan. Again, I didn't do a bunch of potatoes. It's just me and Mikey. And I'm actually filming. Now he want to be the director, y'all. And I'm actually filming multiple episodes, and so there'll be a lot of food here tonight. So if you're in the area, come on back, get you something to eat. Get you something to eat. All right. So I have a nice layer of red potatoes in the bottom. Okay. Y'all know I'm a gadget junkie, and so I enjoy using my mandolin. If you don't have a mandolin, just use a knife, slice it up. I'm going to put a little bit of Mike Lowry's just to salt the potatoes a little bit. And then you can add some additional pepper if you want to. I'm about peppered out. Okay, I've cut up 1 Vidalia onion. If you're not an onion person, you don't have to use a whole onion. I love onions. And so I'm just going to kind of mix them in with the potatoes here. And I cut mine in rings because the potatoes are cut in circles. And I thought that would look cute. Alright, so I'm actually not going to use all of that onion, but good gracious almighty, it smells good. Alright, so I made the perfect bed for the pork chops. Now, I'm going to take these beautiful, beautiful pork chops. And I'm just going to place them. No. I'm going to put my gravy on first. So you want to make sure that the gravy seeps in all these little cracks and crevices. Look how smooth that pulls. So that was like the perfect combination. It was a half a cup of regular milk, half a cup of heavy cream. And I didn't have to use any chicken stock because it wasn't thick and goopy, right? So I'm going to add my gravy. Y'all, this smells so good. I'll make somebody laugh because I'm going to sing my hungry song. I so hungry, I so hungry. They know what I'm talking about. They're probably laughing right now. Or either that or saying, oh Lord, there she go with the hungry song. Okay. So I just made sure all of that is in the little nooks and crannies. I'm just going to try to flatten it out. Y'all, stop playing with me. Look at that. It's so well seasoned already. It ain't even hot. Now, I've seen some people put a layer of cheese. I'm not finna do no pork chop and cheese. When I do a pork chop sandwich, I don't put no cheese on it. But if you like cheese, go for it. Now, I want you to look at how pretty that is. You see that? Okay, so next step, I'm just gonna cover it in some aluminum foil. I didn't tell you how to season my pork chops. Okay, on my pork chops, I just breaded the pork chops in just chicken breader, right? My favorite chicken breader. You know I can't show you no brand names. I seasoned it with Mike Lowry, paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, and Tupperware pepper, okay? So just on both sides, and that's it, okay? All right, we're gonna cover it with some aluminum foil. In case you don't know, I'm from a little town called Hostel, North Carolina, so if I sound country, I am very proud to be. So very happy that school is done. In case you didn't know, I am now Dr. IBSQ, but I still just want to cook all day. Okay, I'm going to put this in the oven for an hour and a half. For YouTube time, it's probably be like 30 seconds or less, right? And so after this cooks, I preheated the oven to 375. If you have all day, put it on 350. But I'm so hungry, I put it on 375. And so I'm going to set the timer for an hour and I'll check it. And what you're checking for is the doneness of the pork chop, because the steam will cook the potatoes, and I sliced them thin enough that they will. We'll cook the potatoes and onion, and all that yummy goodness will come up and cook the pork chop. And then when you see how tender it is, you're just going to fall all out on the floor like I'm going to do. So in the oven it goes. So we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, this is what I took out of the oven. Beautiful, right? Cast iron skillet handle is hot. Don't play with it. All right. So Mikey said I should have shown more to prep. I probably agree with him. So let me walk back through this. So the first thing you want to do is you want to season your pork chops and then sear them. Just brown them on both sides and around the edges in just a little bit of oil of your choice. Okay. Take them out the pan. Get rid of most of the oil. Put your potatoes on the bottom. Mix in your onions. And then your cream of soup with roasted garlic. Mix with half a cup of milk, half a cup of heavy cream. Remember, if it's too thick, you can thin it out just a little bit with chicken stock. I didn't have to do that. I cooked it covered for about an hour, and then I wanted more of the brown, so I cooked it uncovered for 30 minutes. So I took the top off, so everything is tender. So let's see what we got going on here. So I'm going to start with the pork chop. No, I'm not. I'm going to grab some of these potatoes on the bottom. I'm just going to lay my potato foundation. The potatoes are super, super soft. All right, now I'm going to pick up this pork chop right here. Put that. And then I'm going to put a little gravy like that right there, like Like that on the pork chop. Let me get some of this gravy because it's just sitting there floating all around. The onions mixed in. Look, there got some onions right there. Put some onions right on top. Yo! Alright, let's see what we got going on. Should be tender. Y'all, look at that. Look, it pulls apart. Let me tell you something. And I had 2 husbands. So you get a man with cooking, but I don't know if that's gonna make a mistake. Anyway, this right here. Y'all, I'm just gonna put this. I'm just gonna put the knife down. Watch this. Watch this. All right. So I know y'all rely on like my. That's super hot. You rely on my facial expression to tell you how good it is. Watch it. Look at that. Look at that potato. Y'all. I don't even know what to call this. Cast iron skillet pork chop thing. That's what I'm gonna call it. Recipe is below the video. And I will see you next episode.